Hey guys, it's Sarah Schneider with NourishLife.org. If you're new to me, I'm a holistic nutritionist and I help mamas reset and heal and nourish their bodies. So today I wanted to talk about some of the things that I see online, on Facebook groups, in my Facebook feed. And one of the things that I saw a few days ago was it was a woman who said, I'm starting a strict diet. I was just reading what I wrote, and workout routine tomorrow. So it was this idea that, and she wrote a long thing about it, but basically she was saying that I'm starting this strict diet and workout regimen, and it's going to be really difficult, but I really have to lose this weight. And it just really hit me the wrong way, because that is the exact opposite of what you really want to do. If you really want to lose the weight, putting restrictions on yourself like that, deciding that it's going to be a strict diet and workout regimen, right? Deciding that it is going to be hard before you even start it, deciding that it is going to be difficult for you to do it, but this is the way. Like, this is the way that it has to be done for me to lose the amount of weight that I want to lose. That's basically what that's basically what she was saying between all the lines, right? And that will never help you succeed. That will never help you get to the place that you want to be, because when you put strict limitations on yourself, this is what happens. That inner rebel, that little rebel's heart that you have, will not allow for that to happen. Not for, any great length of time, right? If you put strict limitations on yourself, you are just setting yourself up to fail. And that is why when we go 150% in, we put it all in, and we crash and we burn, and we do it for 3 or 4 weeks and we can't do it any longer because it's not sustainable. That's what is happening, is we put strict limitations on it and we make it very hard, because we think that it has to be hard for it to be successful. And this is old messaging. This is old messaging. So regardless if you're on a health and weight loss journey, or if this is, something that you're saying to yourself because you're building a business, if you think that it's going to be hard and it has to be difficult, it has to be hard to be effective, it is going to be hard, but here's the kicker. It's going to be ineffective. Hey, whoever hopped on. So when be careful. Like I always tell people this, watch what you say, like watch your language, because if you tell yourself that it's going to be really strict, you're going to set yourself up to fail, right? Because the little rebel heart that you have is not going to want to do that. Nobody wants to do anything that feels restrictive. It's not in your human nature to want to do that. Second, when you say that it's going to have to be this way to get these results, like this is what I have to do. It's going to be hard. It's going to be strict. It's got to be hardcore for me to be effective, for me to have successful weight loss. Yeah, it's going to be hard, and you are pigeonholing yourself into an area that it's not only restricted, but it's not going to work. Like, you're basically putting it out there to the universe, putting it out there to God, that you want it to be that way. You want it to be hard, right? It's putting it out there that there is no other way. Because when you say there's no other way, it has to be this way, it has to be hard to be effective, there's not going to be another way. Like, that's the way you're going to go, right? That's the direction it's going to take. It's going to be hard, and it is not going to feel enjoyable. It's not going to feel sustainable. Because the thing about it is, our true authentic selves, we gravitate to joy. We gravitate to freedom. We gravitate towards peace. Like, it's not in our nature to be resistant. It's not in our nature to put ridiculously stringent and hard limitations on ourselves. We don't operate well under that, right? So the best thing that you can do is to start changing the language. So when I hear I'm starting a really strict diet and workout regimen tomorrow, yeah, flip that and decide what you really want out of it. So if you want success, if you want effectiveness, if you want to lose weight, that's great. But instead of putting on it limitations of it having to be strict for it to be effective, decide what you want and then create a plan, inspired actions based on what you want. So, for example, if you want to lose the weight and you want it to feel easy, how is it going to feel easy to you? What feels easy to you? Adding a lot of really great nourishing vegetables and fruits, does that feel easy to you? Maybe. A lot of times when we just add in some really great nourishing foods, we naturally are going to be eating less of the other foods, and it doesn't feel stringent, right? It doesn't feel hard. So maybe that's something that you do. I don't know. But decide what you want and figure out ways to get what you want inside of those good feel-good feelings. Does that make sense? I hope this makes sense. But it really bothers me when I hear that people feel like it has to be that way. Saying I want to run 3 times a week and working out a total of 6 days a week last week was the key to making it happen. Yeah. Saying that you want to run 3 times a week and then you ended up doing it 6. Yeah. Isn't that funny? It's because we have rebel hearts. Like if you're in this group, it's because you are like me. You have a rebel heart. You don't want to do something hard that you've been told that you have to do, and you don't want to be limited. You don't want someone to tell you that you have to do it this way. And the thing about it is that person might be yourself. You will still fight yourself on this, even if it's you telling yourself you need to do this. And we've all been there. We've all mapped out a schedule for ourselves, right? And I'm not opposed. Okay, I'm not opposed to like mapping things out. I do that all the time. My game plan calls, we do mapping. But when you get out a piece of paper and you are like, I ran 3 but other workouts the other days for a total of actually 7. That's amazing. See? So look, you have your piece of paper and you're like feverishly writing at night, and it's usually later at night, right? And you're like, I'm going to work out, 9 times and for an hour, and I'm only going to eat grilled chicken, and I'm going to eat 6 cups of vegetables a day. And you write out this thing that's like absolutely impossible for any human being to complete, right? And you're like, I'm gung-ho on this. And then the next day you wake up and yeah, you're not working out that morning. And yeah, you ended up running by the donut shop for breakfast. And it's because you have made it too hard, and your rebel self is like, no, I'm not doing that for the rest of my life. I'm not even doing that for a week, right? Because it feels hard. And that is why you have to figure out what it is that you really want and how you really want to feel, and then create your new little plan based on that. Start there. Start with how you can feel better, not worse. Because a lot of people will say, well, it's motivating. Well, it is until it isn't, right? It's motivating for a split second while you create that big, huge list of things that you need to do. And then all of a sudden, it's no longer motivating. It's actually very disheartening because you're going to fail. You have set yourself up to fail. You have set yourself up for such high expectations that there is no way that it's humanly possible to do that. And so you're going to fail. And then you're going to feel like a failure. And then that's just going to send you into a downward spiral. So I know this is one of those rant days, but when I see that, I'm like, no, don't do that, because you're setting yourself up to fail. You're not going to be able to sustain that, and it's not going to feel good. You were designed to be attracted, to gravitate towards good feelings. If it doesn't feel good, you're not going to do it. That's just plain and simple. So you're going to have to figure out a way to feel good about doing it. And that comes down to really getting clear on what you want and how you want to feel. So if you want to feel nourished, if you want to feel cared for, if you want to feel joy, are you going to feel joy from starving yourself? Probably not. Mm-mm. Are you going to feel free if you are tethered to a schedule that literally is like by the 30-second mark? You know what I mean? No, you're not going to feel free at all. You're going to feel like, oh. I mean, are you going to feel peace when you're eating your dinner if you, you know, are eating something that you've eaten for the last 3 days and you literally cannot swallow it? You're like, this is so gross. I've been eating this for like 3 days and I cannot stand grilled chicken breast and steamed broccoli one more day, right? Are you feeling at peace with yourself? No, no, you're not. So really consider what that would look like for you. Really consider what you want, the good feelings of what you want and how that you can get there without being restrictive, okay? So that is my little rant for today. Sometimes I see that and I can't help but like, oh, and it takes everything in me like to say, no, don't do it. You strongly dislike grilled chicken? Probably to this day, right? It was like one of those things that you ate every single day in the 90s and like you can't take it anymore. I actually do like grilled chicken, but my husband grills chicken thighs and it's so rich and delicious. It's completely different than like the grilled boneless, skinless chicken breasts of like back in the day, right? So I do like that now. Yes, yeah, that's how it normally goes. Yeah, and I was talking to a group, one of our group members, Sarah Dennis Schroeder. She is a dream life coach and she's amazing at it. And she had invited me into her group to talk about, you know, kind of like my philosophy and all that kind of stuff. And I was talking about this deprivation and depletion. And then I saw this on Facebook and I'm like, stop depriving and depleting yourself. Quit restricting yourself, right? So that's where it came from. But yeah, and then you'll get to the point where you literally cannot eat that food for the rest of your life because you have such a negative connotation towards it, right? So this is what I'm talking about. Don't be too restrictive or you're going to get the exact opposite of what you want, okay? So that's my rant for today. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I have some stuff I'm going to post later today that might be really exciting. So stay tuned. I'm going to get that out in the next few minutes or so. I'm tired today, guys. Like, I'm really tired. I don't know what it is. It's like Tuesday, but I feel like I slept well. I don't know. Something just didn't click. So, yeah, we all have those off days. So if you're having an off day like me, just give yourself a lot of grace. Seriously, give yourself a lot of grace. I know it's hard to do sometimes, but sometimes that's exactly what we need to get back in the game, right? So anyways, now I'm just like babbling. I hope you guys have a fantastic day and I'll talk to you soon. Bye guys.